The original heating system enters the boiler house through two 75mm flow and return pipes that were originally connected to two conventional oil boilers. They're now instead connected to an energy zone manifold and an energy effective Grundfos speed controlled pump. This pump can decide which is the most appropriate speed to operate at, and they can automatically change over as required if a fault crops up. The manifold uses the original pipework as a zone, but there is also a second energy zone going to a separate part of the building, again controlled by Grundfos speed control pumps from the energy zone manifold. This patented device allows for high temperature and low temperature appliances to be interconnected, as in this situation where there are three wall-hung condensing modulating boilers with built-in weather compensation, and also three 20 kilowatt heat pumps. Each have heat exchangers in the boiler house and heat collectors fitted outside behind the rear wall of the boiler house. The pipework from the main gas boilers feeds down under the floor and back up into the manifold distribution system, whereas the returns from the heat pumps are collected together and are directed back towards the energy zone manifold through a 3-port valve. The 3-port valve in position 1 will allow the flow to rise up into the manifold, and therefore the heat pumps can satisfy the heating load. In position 2, it will allow for the heat pump's output to flow to catch on the return water coming back from the zones and divert it through the heat pumps to preheat it. And when it's preheated, to introduce it back into the return of the gas boilers. So therefore, the heat pumps are operating at all times at maximum efficiency, either delivering heat or preheating the return water to the gas boilers. When there's just a central heating coil, the heat pumps are well able to handle the full load. But if colder weather kicks in, or a lot of the zones are calling, because there's 12 zones in the premises, if they're all calling, then the boilers will all kick in to work together to bring the building up to temperature. The whole system is controlled by an energy awareness building management system panel. It has an LED indication to indicate what areas are calling for heat. The red lights you might see on the panel are where faults are indicated are ready. So if anything happens, you can see exactly what might have failed. The orange lights show that there's a heat pump call, and as you can see now, there's a boiler low temperature call which will bring on the gas boilers. And the central heating system is calling just now. So just now, the gas boilers are working alone because the heat pumps are out of their temperature range. The reason the gas boilers are calling alone is that there is a hot water call, and in a hot water call situation, the heat pumps cut out and let the gas boilers continue to bring it to full temperature. So the gas boilers are bringing the temperature up to that temperature, but the heat pumps are switched off because they've reached 55 degrees. If the return water drops, then it can come back in again. The heat pumps will be back in. The heat pump and gas boilers would work together at the start of the hot water cycle, but as the water temperature rises in the return, the heat pumps will then switch off. You can see the gas boilers at 77 degrees. So the heat coming in would come in from the heat pump collectors outside and be distributed around the system normally for central heating. And then if the mixing valve is in its second position, it would direct the water from the heat pumps back out to the gas boilers, bringing up to full temperature. So we have now 3 gas boilers and 3 heat pumps, a primary zone with 7 subzones, a secondary zone with another 3 subzones, and there's provision for these pipes here for the future. So we're covering all future possibilities in this boiler room. So in total, taking all of these zones into account, there are 10 separate heating zones and 2 separate hot water systems. Extremely simple, extremely cost effective. This is now an energy zone combining high temperature and low temperature boiler equipment and working extremely well. Thanks for watching.